with Tips for Truckers over here, and today I'm going to give you some tips and some gripes about fuel islands. Start off with the number one thing to most people, and that's people taking showers while they're parked in the fuel island. And this is such a big deal that every time I go in and take a shower, the cashier will ask me, "Hey Matt, are you parked in a fuel island, or are you parked in an actual spot?" Think about how bad it is that people are parking in fuel islands while they're showering so frequently that the cashiers actually know that it's a problem. I mean, come on, guys. Number two, moving right along here, and this is my number one thing, is when people pull into the fuel island and they put their nozzles in, they fuel up, and they just stand around, hang up the pumps, and then they wash their windows. Okay, it's not just that. Then they wash their windows, and then they open the hood and check the oil. And then after they're done that, then they go around and check the tires. Well, what you do is, first of all, you wash your windows while you're fueling, okay? And you don't pump one side at a time, you pump both sides at the same time. But, I mean, these people out here, just crazy, man. But it takes just as long for you to wash your windows and your windshield as to fuel up. So you put your fuel nozzles in while fuel's pumping, and you wash your windows and your mirrors, and by the time you're done, usually it'll be exactly when your fuel pump shut off automatically. You don't have to keep monitoring them, guys. Come on, man. And I'm sure it's none of my listeners, but hey, hopefully someone gets that out of here. And so the next one is the trash. Now I'm just going to run over this one because I don't see a whole lot of trash in the fuel islands. I usually see it in parking spots and stuff. But people are usually pretty good about not leaving trash in the fuel islands. But anyway, moving right along, here's a couple tips, okay? If you're pulling a reefer and you're delivering to Phoenix, or it's a hot day, make sure you top off your reefer, even if you're only at a 3/4, half a tank. And speaking of topping things off, you should know how frequently, the cadence of when you have to fuel up your DEF. Okay. Now, I have a 20-gallon tank, and I usually have to fuel my DEF about every other time I fuel. Now, if you have to, the reason this is important is if you're having to fuel your DEF a lot more frequently, you probably got something wrong with your DPF filter or your engine or something. And I'll tell you. But next one is we got here is pay at the pump, guys. I mean, you just got to put your card in, enter in your information and stuff. You don't have to go inside to give them your card number and truck information and all that mess. I mean, that just wastes a lot of time. Next one is if you're, while you, speaking of paying at the pump, if you have working for a company where you got to write down your mileage, where you got to write down your hub meter, you got to write down your trailer number, your trip number, and all that mess into the fuel pump, write it down on a piece of paper before you start fueling. That way you're not going in and out of your truck trying to get that information. Okay? Now, next one. Okay, if you're done fueling, and let's say the guy in front of you, he pulled up. Hey, at least he pulled up, but he's taking a long time in the store. And you're done fueling. What I always do is I'll pull up and nose up right behind the guy, and that tells the person behind you that hey, I'm wanting to pull up more, but I'm just gonna go inside, grab my receipt. I'll be right back, and I'll pull up the rest of the way and then go back inside and do all my things. At least that's what I mean when I want to do that. Okay? I mean, a lot of these things, I think it's common sense, but like I said, I'm sure that none of my listeners do any of this stuff. But hey, hopefully someone listens to this video and get something out of it, man. And I'd like for there to be a lot more universal things like I mentioned with that last one that everybody knows about, so we can kind of just get it over with our fueling, man. We gotta just not waste people's time. That's my biggest one. Anyway, it's Matt with Tips for Truckers. Have a great day. Oh yeah, honorable mention. I can't forget this one. Okay, when you go into the fuel island, okay, and you know you're trying to pick which fuel pump to go into. You see a guy. One guy is pulled up in the fuel island, has his tanks in, nozzles in. He's fueling, and there's another guy over here that doesn't have his nozzles in. You think, oh, he just went in the store. He's grabbing his receipt. He's going to be quick back. Now, this, from my experiences, 100% of the time, that guy that doesn't have his nozzles in the tank is going to be there another half hour or so. Now, I'm not kidding you every single time. Just want to do that honorable mention. It's Matt with Tips for Truckers. Have a great day, guys. Thanks.